Hello. I think a few of you will know what this is, but most of you won't. It's a mini DV video cassette, plentiful in the late 90s and early 2000s to store video. Rapidly changing technology, however, replaced it with SD cards and USB inputs. Most computer manufacturers stopped making so-called firewire inputs for these things, needed for most DV cameras. More than 10 years ago, that happened. Earlier this summer, I figured out how to get by those obstacles. I installed a FireWire PCI card, you can still buy those, into my old Windows 10 computer. Reinstalled an old Sony Vegas program, Vegas 7, and it all worked perfectly. I upscaled most of the footage I found on these cassettes in Topaz AI and encoded it into MP4s and Handbrake. The DV footage I found on those cassettes was pristine, most of it raw and never published. The first year we owned the camera, a JVC 5000, we shot everything: the 4th of July parade, the Halloween party, countless neighborhood scenes, our fall vacation, and several clips of my boyhood home. My wife Emily caused most of it, teaching me how to shoot and edit video.
We're rolling.
Hello, I'm Cy Jenkins. Thanks for checking out my reel. There's a lot. Throughout her career in TV news, Em was a photographer and editor, but she also did weather part-time on CNN on the weekends and at TV stations in Phoenix and Denver.
You're watching Channel 7, KMGH-TV, Denver. Ann Wade. Michael Marsh. Emily Stoller with the weather. And Brian Dries with sports. Now, KMGH 7 News.
And that will be going on until 1 a.m. Central Time. They've been getting rain and a golf ball size hail in Devil's Lake, North Dakota earlier today, and that should be dissipating into the evening, but up until now,
Emily also had perfect pitch, and I think could have performed professionally had she chosen to do so. Her way of teaching me to shoot and edit was to write a fictional story and then go out and shoot video to cover it. That method helped get me a teaching job at Ball State, and that's on those cassettes too.
Ready?
Yeah, I too.
They're on the hunt, sniffing out news where older dogs seldom go in our community. Meet the video journalists of NewsLink, Indiana. They're young, but they're serious, and you might be surprised at how well they bark. The cassettes are loaded with news stories I did, but I won't show much of those.
The story, Cy?
Clyde, as you indicated, we found nothing illegal in what we're about to show you, but it's obvious the law isn't being interpreted the same by everyone involved. And chances are, you don't know about it.
Fruit basket, Pacer tickets, $800 from banks.
These are banks that the county does business with.
That's correct.
That profit from the county's business, and they're giving you gifts.
Well, right. They've given us all gifts.
Look, and what they can't see here is the incredible amount of grief now blanketing Manhattan.
I have 3 children, 2 sons, 1 daughter, 2 grandchildren. I'm a retired school principal, city of New York.
Arnold Wittenstein, his wife and daughter, went to a National Guard armory this morning to deliver DNA samples of Michael Wittenstein, a securities trader who worked on the 104th floor of Tower 1 before it collapsed.
We brought down his dental records, his pictures, toothbrush, saliva tests from his mother and myself. So if they do find his body, it'll be identified.
How hard that must be for Father.
I just wish it could have been me, not him.
Michael was on the opposite side of the building from where the plane hit, and he had to telephone his dad to learn what had happened.
He called me about 5 to 9. And he said, do I have the radio or TV on? He said, they heard a plane hit the building. So I put on the radio, and of course it was coming across that a plane had hit the building. And I said, Mike, it's true. And he said, well, I got to get off the phone. We're going to get out of here. And I think there were 700 people up there. Not one to be found. No one.
The family had been planning Michael's wedding, scheduled 1 month from today. His bachelor's party was set for tonight.
I was on the phone with his fiance when the South building collapsed. And she worked in the Federal Reserve building, and she could see the whole thing, and she started screaming, no, no, no. And when I looked at the TV and I saw the other building came down, my first thought, and as horrible it was, is I thought, thank God it wasn't his. And then I looked down, and when I looked up a little while later, I saw his building was gone from the skyline. And we haven't heard anything.
Hundreds of flyers with the photographs of missing people now decorating the walls of that National Guard armory indicate how much company the Wittensteins have. And all the families can do is wait.
We just want them home. I just want a hello. Something. Something.
Michael Wittenstein, by the way, was a survivor of the first terrorist attack on the World Trade Center, the bombing 8 years ago. He decided to go back to work there. In Manhattan, Cy Jenkins, RTV6.
Cy, if you can hear me, you've been out there all week long, and this is just one more of those emotionally difficult pieces, and I'm just wondering how you're doing there all this week.
Well, I'll tell you, it's hard to hold back the tears. It's very difficult to interview these people and then watch them walk away with this incredible sorrow. I mean, it's so thick you can almost see it, and it's hard.
It's got to be impossible not to be touched by all of that. Well, we appreciate the hard work that you are doing for all of us there in New York.
Still a lot of hoping and...
The DV footage also includes visits that family members made to our home and the 2 years that I babysat my first 2 grandchildren. Where is she?
Emily, let's go to work.
I took this shot of my home last month with a modern mirrorless camera with an excellent lens. In 2005, a few days before Christmas, I captured this DV image with a JVC from the same location. I took several other shots too, all of them locked for 22 years on a mini DV cassette. I recall that snowy day in '05 like it was yesterday. It feels indeed like time traveling. But I have no desire to go back to that way of shooting video. There's no doubt the video of today's cameras greatly surpasses what my professional DV camera delivers. The low light capacity is one thing. There is no image stabilization and no autofocus. The 4:3 aspect ratio is also limiting. To compensate while editing, you have to zoom in on an already smaller image. In fact, it's unlikely I'll find much use for the JVC 5000 in the future, even though it works as well now as it did when Emily and I bought it. The most precious video it gave me is of Emily herself, teaching me how to shoot by making up stories about her. Certainly nothing had appeared to be threatening. Stoller had spent part of the day on her front porch admiring a neighbor's flowers and the play of a child across the street. She had spent most of the day cleaning up her backyard.
bag doobie that you put leaf bags in and fill it up with garbage when you're cleaning up the yard. Cool, huh?
Cool.
And then when you're done with it, you take your leaf bag out and you push this thing all the way down. You hook it all up and you stick it in the garage until you need it again.
If this is the final time I use my mini DV camera, I think it's appropriate that it gets the last shot in this piece. Cool, huh?